parenting is tough no matter how old your kids are. And as much as we try to be patient, sometimes we can't help it and we just lose our cool.
We do. But according to clinical psychologist Becky Kennedy, it's what happens next that matters. Take a look, because she has a brand new TED Talk out.
All parents yell. No one knows what to do next. Well, I'm determined to fill this gap. After all, there's almost nothing within our interpersonal relationships that can have as much impact as repair. Whenever a parent asks me, what one parenting strategy should I focus on? I always say the same thing. Get good at repair.
Get good at repair.
And also, all parents yell.
I know.
Yes.
We feel so much better. Dr. Becky is the CEO and founder of the parenting community platform, Good Inside. You came right on time, Dr. Becky. Okay, talk to us about this concept of repair. How is it different than just apologizing?
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of apologies, they look to shut a conversation down. I mean, we've all said this. We say, like, I'm sorry I yelled. Can I move on?
Yeah,
Can we move on
go.
now? You know, can we do something else? Shutting a conversation down versus a repair, a good repair actually opens a conversation up. You actually have increased closeness. You learn something new about yourself and your kid, and it actually becomes a really positive moment with your child.
So give us an example. Like, how does it work in action?
So recently, like the other night, I yelled at my son. I talk about it in my TED Talk, but it happened again, right? It's not like you do it once and never again, right? And so my son's alone in his room, right? I'm alone in another part of my house. And what I end up doing is I repair with myself. We have to do that. We often forget that you can't repair with someone else until I've said to myself, I'm a good parent who is having a hard time. That one moment does not define my parenting. And then I went to my son and I said...
So I think that's important, to take a second for you.
Yes.
Because otherwise you could still be angry.
Seething.
Or whatever it is, have no patience.
Because if you don't take that second, you're either blaming yourself, I'm an awful parent.
Totally.
Or you're blaming your kid. You're like, I have an awful kid. Neither is productive.
Yeah. Okay.
So after I've found my own goodness, really, and groundedness, I can give that to my kid.
Totally.
And I can find him and I can say, listen... It's never your fault when I yell, which is hard to accept, right? We forget to differentiate. I'm frustrated at my kid maybe because of something he did, but that doesn't mean it's okay to scream in his face.
Yeah.
So it's never your fault when I yell. And I'm sure that felt scary. And I'm going to work on managing my emotions so they don't come out in such a scary way.
I think when parents hear advice like this, they're like, that's a good idea, except one thing. My kids are teenagers now and I've missed the boat, and now I can't unring the bell. I mean, if you do have teenage kids or whatever, can you still go down this road?
100%. And you're kind of teeing up the last 2 minutes of my TED Talk. The whole thing is like 12 minutes, but if you don't have 12 minutes, I get it. Just watch the last 2 minutes, okay? Because it really goes into the fact that it is not too late. Your teen might not want a one-on-one. Teen, it's great. Send them a text. Put a note under their door.
That's a good idea.
They still need it, and I think we know it. Because think about if your parent texted you, hey, you know, there were a lot of moments in your childhood that probably felt bad, and I wish I had stepped aside instead of yelling at you. They weren't your fault. I love you. I don't know any adult who'd say, I wouldn't care.
Of course. Yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to do the opposite of what Hoda just did, that I think there's probably a lot of parents with kids our age that are toddlers or, 4 or 5, and in the midst of, no, I'm not going to put on my shoes or whatever it is, it's hard to keep that cool, and then also they're 4 or 5, so to have a real repair moment, what can we do in the midst of like our deepest frustrations?
100%. So look, there's obviously another part. What can we do outside of the moments to just yell less often and have our kids cooperate more often? There's a lot of things we can do, none of which are, very quick. But what I'd say is talking to your kid outside of the moment matters. Hey, it's hard to get on your shoes in the morning. What can we do tomorrow to make it more fun for all of us? It's amazing when you approach even a toddler as if they're a teammate and not an enemy, that they tend to want to work with you instead of against you. And then what I'd also want every parent to know, it does not matter how old your kid is, they feel the repair. I remember repairing with my 12-month-old. Hey, I was frustrated earlier. You probably heard that. You're safe. I love you. Now let's go play. They totally get it.
Yeah.
All right, we have a lot of questions.
Yeah, we
Dr.
do.
Becky, but we'll take a commercial and then we'll come back.
Great.
Right after this. Yeah, that's true. We're back with clinical psychologist Becky Kennedy is now going to answer some of our parenting questions, and we got a lot of them.
We've got so many.
First one is from Danielle. She's got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Becky. I'd love to know your thoughts on how to navigate the feeling of being pressured or judged in public when you're parenting your child through a temper tantrum.
Oh, yeah, girl. We've all had it.
I love this question because I actually have a great strategy that I use all the time. So I came up with this when I was in a grocery store where I had said no to my daughter when she wanted to get, I don't know.
Candy.
Exactly. Yeah. And temper tantrum happened. I look around at all the parents and I said, I don't really know what anyone else is thinking.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to make up the thoughts of other people, I might as well make them work for me. Yeah. So I imagine them all saying, Becky, you've got this. We've been there. You're a rock star parent. We're not judging you. And all of a sudden, I truly pictured having 20 people encouraging me. And so since then, I always imagine it. And I actually think those thoughts are closer to the truth of what people are thinking.
Than judgment. Yeah, well, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is from one of our favorites, Joelle Gargiulo. She's a mom of 2 girls, ages 8 and 5. Take a look.
As a mom, I am very patient. I am very understanding. I am very kind. And with all of those wonderful things said, my kids don't listen to me. Not the first time, not the second time, not the 6th time. And then I think I just eventually lose it. And I don't know. I need help. What do I do? How do I get my kids to listen?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm sure a lot of parents empathize with that.
Yes. Listening is really all about connection. And connection is in part about being kind and warm, like she was saying. Connection is also in part about boundaries. So I think if listening is an issue and you know you've got that warmth and kindness piece, ask yourself, am I setting up my kids to listen? For example, am I saying to them, get off the couch, get off the couch? I said get off the couch. Or, hey, when I walk over to you, if you're not off the couch, I will pick you up and put you on the floor and show you where you can jump safely. That's a boundary. And now I'm not frustrated because I'm actually embodying my authority and setting the boundary my kid needs.
Okay, what if your kid does something it's upsetting and then you say, I want you to come and sit down now, and they say no, and I go 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm at 2 and I don't have anything after 1. It's all like if you ever get to 1, it's over.
Yeah, what happens after 1?
And they used to scramble. Now it's like
totally.
So do you what's the thing?
What can we replace with that?
Or what is that even a bad strategy?
Well, I don't know. I just imagine my husband doing that to me and yeah.
No, that doesn't work.
I don't think it feels very good. So what I would say is,
I used to do it as a teacher.
Yeah.
I think we have something really important to talk about. I would love to talk to you now. If that doesn't work, I'm going to find you in a few minutes. I know we can work this out together. Now we're really working like we're on the same team instead of a kid feeling controlled, in which case they're likely to protest.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's also about like making it fun, kind of. Like sometimes I'm like, I bet I can beat you up the stairs. Yeah. That works for Hal better than being like, when I get to 3, you better be upstairs.
Do you want to hop up the stairs or walk up the stairs?
Sometimes
I know, but sometimes you're over.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
All right, okay, here's Helen from New Jersey. She wrote in with a question. My son just entered high school and is nervous to get involved in new clubs where he might not know people or might be the youngest there. How do I motivate him to get involved with the school without pressuring him?
Such a good question. So actually, kids tend to be motivated to do things on their own when they're not overwhelmed with nervousness or anxiety. So I'd shift, or I always say upgrade the question to how can I help support my kid around what he's nervous about so he feels more able to sign up for things that are exciting. So I just say, hey, it makes sense to feel nervous. Or I love saying to my kids, do you know you can be nervous and brave at the same time? And that really opens things up.
Okay. Awesome. Dr. Becky, thank you. We could have had a whole show.
I have a whole bunch more.
Yeah.